disagreeable mood. She cocked her head the tiniest bit so she could watch him from her peripheral vision. When his face gave nothing away, she almost wondered if she'd spoken the words aloud at all. Paula turned forward and stared out her window. It was fine with her if David wanted to leave things this way. She could do this alone. She was a grown woman. They headed up Snow King Avenue toward the Snow King Resort. Already a few dedicated skiers swooped down the slopes on this lazy Sunday morning. She consulted her watch again. Her parents would be getting up for church about now, her mom boiling water for that wretched cup of instant coffee. Hannah and Graham would be making breakfast for the guests of Higher Grounds Mountain Lodge, while Micah shoveled the 2 inches of snow that had fallen overnight. Natalie would be scurrying to get breakfast ready for Taylor and Alex, after an undoubtedly sleepless night with their adopted newborn, Grace. Her stomach tightened at that one. She squinted out the front windshield, up Cash Street, the road that would take her out of there. They were making good time. All the tourists had evidently stayed out too late drinking to do anything more than loll in bed. As they crossed the line that demarked the edge of Jackson Hole, Paula almost expected the raucous blowing of party horns. She'd waited all her life to exit this miserable little hole in the middle of nowhere, and today was the beginning of that dream. But there were no party horns. She wished the radio were on so she didn't feel as if she was about to choke on the silence. She struggled to think of something to say. She, whose words usually came easily and flawlessly. "Your clothes should be ready at the cleaners by 5 tomorrow," she said. It was lame, unnecessary even, since David knew very well when his clothes would be ready. At least she was trying. But he sat beside her as cold as a mountain glacier. Couldn't he at least grunt? Even when she'd come home 2 days earlier with her auburn hair straightened, he hadn't so much as glanced her direction. Of course, having her natural curls pulled straight would have bothered him at one time. Now the stiff set of his shoulders made her wonder if he was ever going to thaw. This is Paula Landin-Cohen reporting from inside an SUV, where a man is attempting to freeze his wife with the cold vapors emanating from his body. Join us at 11, and we'll give you all the details on this story. They passed the elk refuge, but all Paula saw was acres of snow behind the fence. She looked at her watch again. "You've got plenty of time," David said. She didn't know whether to be thankful for his first voluntary words or peeved at his tone. She decided on the latter. He'd done nothing but snub her for months. And for what? She was innocent, and he was too stubborn to believe it. "You know, we're married, David. A little kindness wouldn't hurt." His jaw twitched. "Married people don't live across the country from one another." Like he cared. "It's only temporary." Her last word rang out in the car like an echo across Granite Canyon. At least they were talking. Okay, arguing, but it was better than the silence. "Not if you get your dream job." If words could wear a sneer, those two did. And it rankled. Heat prickled her skin under the coat, and she felt like her temperature had shot up 10 degrees. "Why do you care anyway? You've walked around for months, giving me your self-righteous silent treatment. Now I won't be in the way. Not me, or my soggy bath towels, or my dirty dishes. You can live in your sterile house and keep it just the way you like it." He had no right to deny her this opportunity, or to make her feel guilty about leaving. He made decisions without her approval. Why should she have to get his? He turned the car into the airport, and she realized this was it. They were parting as enemies on the biggest week of her life. Why had she imagined calling him Monday night from Chicago and sharing everything that happened? There was no reason to call home. She would go back to her apartment.